Ready to Love Fort Worth Episode 4 review. You know, good people, I came into this season with a clean slate and an open mind because I genuinely wanted to give this season a chance. But this season is clearly shaping up to be 100% freshly squeezed booty juice. And if I had to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 2. For one, the lovely Laylene self-eliminated this episode to handle some personal matters. And I can't really blame her for doing so because family comes first. But she seemed to be one of the better singles on the women's side. And although I believe that she may eventually come back later this season, her absence will be felt. But then we have Lamar, who was finally voted off the show, and even Stevie Wonder could see this coming. If Lamar should have knew one thing before coming into the process, then it's that guys never make it really far into the Ready to Love process when they talk about sex too much. It makes the women, even the super freaks, feel uncomfortable, which is never good to have when the women have the power to eliminate. But from my vantage point, the only legitimate connection that I saw for this episode was with Chaz and Vanessa. Their chemistry, in my opinion, is the highest and most authentic out of all the other possible connections on the show. And I can see them outlasting everybody else. There was also the beginning of what could be a connection between Maya and LaRon, but I didn't see the chemistry between the two of them. Maya does seem to be a good woman, she's very attractive, but I really don't see her dream guy on this show. LaRon, on the other hand, seems to be joined at the hip with Koshia, and Koshia likely knows that if Maya gets LaRon's attention, then her fate on the show is all but sealed. So during this episode, we get the new guy Justin, who Nephi Tommy introduces to the show. And I don't have any issues with Justin. He seems like a good guy, but I don't think that most of the women that remain in the process will take him seriously because of his personality. One thing that the women love about Justin is that he's not overly anxious to have kids, or so they think. In my opinion, Justin really wants to have kids, but he hasn't met the woman worth calculating those child support payments for. But I think that the season of Ready Love has the highest number of women who were cast that did not want to have any kids. If a woman doesn't want to have kids, then that is definitely her right. But to cast multiple women on a dating show that don't want to have kids with men who do want to have kids is asinine in my opinion. But with Justin's arrival, it seems like his strongest connection was with Rashina. By the end of the episode, their connection is definitely surface level, and I seriously doubt that these two are going to make it to the finale. Now, there were two scenes in this episode that made the experience 100% booty juice for me. The first scene was with Mika and Jonathan. They were talking, and Detective Mika picked up that Jonathan was married before, and she made a big issue about it because Jonathan never said he was married. My thing is this: did Mika ever ask Jonathan if he was married and Jonathan lied about it? The answer is no. So therefore, why try to backtrack and accuse Jonathan of lying through omission? In my opinion, Jonathan is the type of guy that is very self-aware. He's not going to freely share his personal business with people that he barely knows for no good reason. And I'm almost certain that Mika has not been an open book with all the guys during the process. I think that she simply does not like Jonathan, and she's reaching for any speck of dirt that she can find on him to justify eliminating him from the show while keeping her own connection safe. But the second scene that I really wasn't feeling was between Koshia and Alexis. The conflict was sparked when Koshia accused Alexis of telling Will what she said about him behind his back. Koshia also said that Alexis had a body like a 12-year-old. So first Koshia gets in her feelings because somebody else had to tell Will what she said about them, and then she resorts to body shaming Alexis. But the final nail in the coffin was when Koshia threatened to lay hands on Alexis. In the words of Viola Van Zant, Koshia seemed like she was a nasty, vile gutter snipe straight from the hood. And yeah, she's beautiful and thicker than cold Rotel dip, but the chick is crazy and hurt. And hurt people hurt people. If I were a betting man, then I would say that Koshia would be next up for elimination, and the guys will be happy to send her packing from the show. So in conclusion, I know that I came into the season with very low expectations, but this episode was very disappointing, and I already see the writing on the wall for the show. But this marks the end of my review. Feel free to leave all comments below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.